What is going on YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Today, got something a little different for you guys. Got A.O. Gordon. Follow this man on Instagram, the founder of Millionaire Young. I don't know if I've clickbaited this video, but before there's any red flags, this is all genuine. This ain't a scam. This ain't no Forex sort of, you know, not a paid sponsor. I simply messaged him and said, please, can you come on the channel and just, you know, kind of speak some knowledge really to you guys, the subscribers. I'm inspired by his posts and his backstory, and I want him to explain it today. So guys, this ain't gonna be a car feature, so instead of maybe leaving a thumbs down or, you know, a negative comment, maybe you should skip this video. So yeah, as always, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in a sec.
Just looking back at my life, remembering where I came from. It's been a mad journey. Sometimes I can't believe how different things used to be.
Well, you gotta break away from the slice of living, man.
It took a mindset shift to completely change my life. Then MY was born. Things take time, but anything's possible. Just need one chance, one team, one dream, but most importantly, one life.
Right, so we sent her. You good?
Yeah, man, I'm just
Nice
here.
to finally meet you.
Come on, man, in the flesh.
First time, man. This guy's celebrity.
Nah, I wish, man.
No, but for real, as I said in the intro, like really inspired by the post, and I've seen some little documentaries you've done, and
sure.
As I say,
Yeah,
like,
appreciate
I
it,
meet
man,
some of
definitely.
these guys at the meets, so they remind me of myself, and I think
Sure.
that they would like appreciate, you know, just
Something
hearing some of
different.
your story. You know, for starters, should we talk about your company, like Millionaire Young?
Yeah, sure. So, essentially at the moment, it's a platform. It's a platform. We're based in South London, but it's just a platform that helps people become financially free, but using property as a vehicle to do that. So that's literally all it was. It's that's where we are now. So we currently have sort of like over 200 properties around in and around London, kind of stretching from London even to Reading, to Kent, to Luton, and just, all over the place. We've got probably about 60 members in our group, and then probably close to 2,000 subscribers on Millionaire Young at the moment. So that's kind of where we are now, and it's just something that we're trying to grow, I guess internationally, and the kind of primary goal is to reach 1 billion people.
How old are you, AO?
I'm now 34.
34, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. And do you want to go like a little bit more into your background? Because as I said, I've seen some of your
Yeah.
documentaries, and you seem like you've come from like a negative world, man, and you kind of switched it up, changed things, and I
sure.
just think that people will definitely be interested in hearing some like stories of, you know,
Where it all began.
where it all began. Yeah.
So I grew up in sort of south west London,
Right.
Kenneton. I don't know if you know Kenneton. Kenneton,
Yeah,
sort of
man.
near Elephant Castle, Stockwell, all of that kind of area. Moved to Clapham with my mum. My dad sort of left. My dad left when I was about 3, and I haven't seen him to this day. So it's really just my mum sort of raising me in South London. Just moving around to different council estates. That was the life I knew, just in the council estates. You know, just trying to follow the trends and not get left behind. So I think music was something that I got into back in the day. You know, everyone wanted to kind of be a rapper or a producer,
Yeah.
or
Well, yeah. This
or a
is-
trapper even, you know. So that's
yeah.
kind of like the only ways out that I used to kind of, that's where my paradigm was, that's where my mindset sort of was.
Yeah. And that's my motto right about now the last few years, is that most youth, they think that they gotta become a rapper, or like they gotta do some kind of madness to acquire, like, you know,
What they want.
material and
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah.
So that's why when I see you, I'm like, okay, look, this is like a prime example of, you know.
I guess the main kind of stereotypical situation I was in was probably just like most other people, really, just like I said, normal kind of pressures. You know, initially, you know, music was the only thing I kind of saw, and I was like, I'm gonna really give this a go. But it wasn't really bringing me the money that I really wanted. So I was always quite confident, but it was always a case of, how long is this gonna take me?
Yeah.
I don't wanna, you know, get to 30 and be scratching around for a tenner. You know, so that was kind of the situation I was in. I was always kind of wanted to accumulate a lot, and I always wanted to do it in a short space of time. So I think that was my motto, and that was how I wanted and saw things for myself. People was actually starting to make money through, you know, different criminal activities, and that was what was around me. So it's like sometimes you just become a product of your environment, and I know it sounds a bit cliche, but it's genuinely how it is, you know.
It is,
And I didn't know any better, so I guess the main thing for me was just, you know, feeling the pressure of making money, and then kind of getting dragged into, you know, or attracted into where maybe I shouldn't be making money, and starting to, you know, just you know, shotting and just doing all that kind of stuff, because I felt like I didn't want to get left behind. I felt like I was getting older, and I'm seeing people I know, you know, buying cars and things, and I'm thinking, damn, like, you know, I haven't got anything, and I guess that was kind of what motivated me or drew me into negative situations. Literally a point where I was literally getting arrested every week. It was that bad. Stay free from jail, but you know, it's I'm no stranger to the environment, you know. Obviously a lot of friends, and you know, end up dead or in jail, and that's kind of been something I've been used to. You want to fit in, you know, you want to be part of the trend, you want the new, you know, Air Max 90s, you want, you know, you want to blend in, and I guess that peer pressure sometimes leads people into situations where, you know, not only do they want to fit in, but now they start to grow, their ego starts to grow, and people want a name for themselves, or maybe they're lacking love at home or in a deeper sense, and maybe they're making up for that by feeling like their love is coming from, you know, certain negative people around them.
What would you say to some of the people in the comment section? So what I notice with some of the subscribers is when I feature a car, I see comments like, I'm never going to have this car, or you know, some of them ain't even kids, some of them are actually adults, like, oh, I've been working 15 years and how does this guy get this car? And you know,
sure.
There are like people, they've like adopted this kind of like mindset that they're never gonna
no, I used to think like that, to be honest. Like, it was only a pipe dream, like literally, you know, buying the properties, buying all these kind of things, like it was just a pipe dream. Like literally it was me 17, just, you know, I've always been pretty hungry and, you know, driven, but a lot of stuff was a pipe dream. So I think the main kind of key factors I would say for anyone thinking like that is it's definitely possible, like literally for anyone, right? Everyone's got a talent, and it might just be in something different, but I think the first thing you need to realize is you've got to find a passion, and kind of that will allow you to put all your energy into something, because most people that are working, right, you might just be doing something you really don't like, just to, you know, collect a paycheck. And I think you need to ideally, you might need to do that as a detour for a certain amount of time, to maybe, it could be whatever, you might just get to a certain point where you want to save a deposit, maybe buy a property, and then you might go into another field, and there'll be lots of detours that you've got to keep taking. But I think the main thing is just being clear with what you want, and trying to find, you know, mentors or people that's already done it, like people that's quite negative or got them limiting beliefs. The environment they're in and the people they're speaking to is not helping. So you might think, well, I've got a lot of friends at work, but then people at work, they're all in a similar boat to you. They're all on a similar wage packet. They might be on 10 grand more, 20 grand more, but they're still all in a certain mind frame. So you need to get away from that and find new people, you know, go to networking events, find new people that's in higher positions that you want to be in, and get advice from them. That's the number one key. Don't listen to the people that haven't got the results you want. For people to make that big change, they're going to need some form of crisis or realization, like you said, to happen. That could be someone dying, it could be a health related issue, it could be that they've seen someone they know become successful. That's a big wake up call for people. It could be that you're seeing someone that, you know, you're seeing a pattern of people, you know, living or failing or living how you really don't want to live, and you're thinking, damn, when I get to that age, I don't want to be living like that. And that's your big wake up call to say, let me take action. The action you take, like I said, should normally be based on what do you enjoy doing. Sometimes you'll have to do something that you don't enjoy that much as a stepping stone, but as long as you know every day, that's going to get you a bit further to where you do want to be. So you might have to go over here, maybe to make a little bit of money, that you can invest to go over there, but eventually you kind of, it's like a zigzag in it. It starts to refine into where you want to be.
Yeah.
You might be sitting there thinking, well, fuck, like, how am I gonna do certain things?
Yeah.
But I think the how is not the most important thing. It's the why. So you got to ask yourself, why do you want to do these things? Because that's gonna give you the drive. I never knew how I was gonna do it. Same way maybe you never knew how your whole thing was going to grow. It's just that you had the passion to put into it, and then you start navigating and finding a way to do it once you've got enough drive. For anyone who's sitting there thinking, you know, what action do I take? Just think about kind of where do you want to go, and then just find people that are similar, in a similar field, or where you want to be, and just reach out to them.
Yeah.
Reach out and go to little seminars, read little books. You can buy books for £10. All of that's going to start giving you a new perspective. Yeah, and when you get a new perspective, you start to maybe behave a little bit differently, and your new behavior will attract new results. I can never take credit for everything I got and everything I've done. You know, I always say that if you want to move forward and to really achieve your dreams, you need people. So don't be sitting there thinking, I want to do all this by myself. You need people, like, and for me, there's been multiple people and different people that have played a huge part in my journey. A lot of people I owe credit to, and sometimes it's just a case of, you know, someone spending maybe a day or two with you. It could be literally that simple, where someone just sat you down, gave you something to really consider or think about, or some tools, and then you've gone off and taken things to the next level. Then you've met someone else who's maybe given you a shot. Someone said, look, I'll give you a shot with this.
So do you want to go into some strategies? Because you was actually you know, as I said to you, like, my dad buys houses, and I know a few people that are like almost like collecting houses. They like make profit off the, you know,
rent
rental
and stuff. Yeah. In a nutshell, right? Because people might be thinking, okay, what do you do with property? You know, property is quite a broad industry. You know, are you developing? Are you building houses? Are you doing creative strategies? So for me, what I'm doing is I'm buying properties. Generally, though, what I've been doing over the last few years is just buying existing dwellings. Typically around London, a few in Kent, but London, South London, or different parts of London is where I'm kind of based and where I've been doing lots of transactions. So I'm buying existing dwellings, generally on creative strategies. So that might mean on delayed completions, for example, where we would put properties under contract and maybe put an assignable clause in there to say that we've taken a property on. Maybe we've inherited the situation under contract, and then we've flipped the deal on without actually fully completing sometimes. There's loads of different strategies, but that's one strategy where it means that we can do it untraditionally. So we don't have to put in maybe a typical 25% deposit, because we've just put it under contract and maybe agreed to give a vendor or a landlord maybe 5% rather than 25%, which is what most people have got to try and save up for. So we're just always looking for ways to acquire properties or make profits from properties without putting much money into the deal.
Okay.
And if I'm not putting much money in, that means I'm going to build a portfolio that's I'm going to build a bigger portfolio quicker than most people that might take 20-30 years to build up a portfolio.
And I was saying to you before, like, that's my worrying thing. It's like, you know, investing all your money that you've saved into a property. Obviously, yeah, you make profit on the house if the value goes up in X amount of time, but just that transition of having to keep saving that money, you know, like, how old are you going to be until you've collected, 2-3 houses, you know?
Exactly, and you've got to remember, it's like, realistically, saving up a big deposit to buy a property and then going broke again, that's not going to help you leave work, because even if you buy one property and you rent it out, that might make you, I don't know, £300, £500 a month.
Yeah, that's what I can't get my head around.
And you can't leave work after that. So now you're thinking, how do I keep saving? There's not enough time. Exactly. And I guess that's what, because remember, for me, that's what I learned about how to get into this, doing it a creative way. If you do it the traditional way, then either you're going to save a deposit. I mean, the normal salary is around 28 grand in the UK, something like that. So to save up 25-30 grand it's going to take a long time for most people. Some people get inheritances and, you know, they're lucky in that sense, but not everyone's that fortunate. So if you are, then fantastic, but for most of us, saving up, you know, if you want to buy in London, you might need 60-70 grand for a typical property, you know, for stamp duty and everything. So I'd say the main thing is, if you want to get into it and you want to build up a portfolio or a situation where you can live off the residual income from the rent, then you're going to need enough properties. So you could either go buy them in Birmingham or North, where you're going to get less money per month, or you might get higher yields, but then the properties are not going to grow in value as much as London, for example.
Yeah, that's what you're saying.
So it's kind of like a catch of which one, you know, what might benefit you the most. But I think the main thing I would say is, like, I do this as a full-time thing. So if you want to do it as a full-time thing, then you've got more chance to kind of get into it and build a situation. If you just want to dip your toe in and buy a property and go back and do whatever you do for a living, then it's going to be a little bit more difficult.
So this is your full-time thing, yeah? You're out here just like trying to buy yards like 24/7 sort of thing?
Pretty much. I think now my time's a little bit more balanced, as in trying to build the brand and, you know, build up a lot of other things that I'm doing. And obviously I mentor a lot of people, so 50% of my time I'm mentoring people.
Okay.
But for the rest of the time, I'm looking for deals. But there was a point where it was like every day all I'm doing is looking for a property to buy or whatever else. That was all I was doing. Now I'm kind of at a point where I'm kind of thinking a bit more like legacy, purpose and impact. So I'm now thinking buying another property is not really going to change my life that much, but if I fall in line a bit with my purpose, then that would fulfill me. So I'm now thinking along the lines of fulfillment rather than an extra bit of profit from a property.
You're actually a millionaire, right?
Yeah, millionaire, yeah. I think for me, sort of like growing up, like when you're young, you're always like, I want to make it, you know, especially when you're in horrible situations or you're starting with fuck all, you know, you're always thinking, well, not always, but a lot of people might be thinking, I just want $1 million. And it's just, don't know, sometimes it's just a number, you know, you dream of and you think that's what I want when you're young growing up. So that was always my goal. And I just took it very serious from quite early on, you know, like I was always in a rush to try and make things happen. So I actually reached it by the time I was 30, and that was my goal. It wasn't on my birthday, but it was when I was 30. So
and I even see a post on your Insta as well, like where I think you buy your mum a place or you moved there somewhere.
Yeah. So again, one of my goals, because my mum has always been in council blocks and pissy blocks and stepping over piss to get in her house and all that. So I always wanted to get her out of that environment. So this year I bought her a penthouse over the river in London, central London. So.
I'm good, thank you. And how are you?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, man. I got some news.
What's that?
Here we are, Mum. This has sort of been an interview that I guess quite a lot of people have kind of wanted to see.
Guys, when I see the post, like anyone from wherever, you know what that means. Some people might look at that post like, oh, he spent money and bought his mum, but like it's deeper than that, man. Everybody always talks about getting their mum out do you know what I mean, out of the council house, and sort of it's one of my goals, you know what I mean, you know. So when I see that, I was just looking at it in a different kind of way.
Nah, man, enough love, man. Trust me, enough love,
real,
man. It's like I mean, that was always something I wanted to do, and I just think now, like I said, for me it's just about feeling like some decisions I make, it might not be the decision that's going to make me the most money, but if it makes me feel the best in terms of my heart, then I'll go with that decision, even if it makes less money. That's where I'm kind of at mentally and spiritually right now in my journey. But saying that, you know, the best kind of advice and things I can put onto people is like, if you got a dream, it might seem like 1,000,000 miles away. That's okay. The main thing is that you don't lose sight of that, and the main thing is that you break it down into something like a smaller step. Don't think of it eating the whole elephant. Just think of the small bits you got to break it down into. Then just take one chunk at a time, and then you'll kind of look back, or you'll get to a point where you'll be like, wow, I've actually come quite far. And if most of you kind of look back at your journey, even so far, a lot of what you've accomplished, you might say, well, I haven't actually accomplished much. That's because you're always thinking in the future. Sometimes you need to think in the present and think, actually, let me stop for a sec. I've actually come a long way, considering. So it's not like, you got to remember, some people are born with millions and they will say £1 million is nothing. I think the key thing you have to understand is, what challenges did you have to overcome to achieve what you've achieved? So there might be other people out there that maybe have made a lot less than me, but they might deserve more credit. because they had a lot more mental challenges to get over.
Yeah.
They might have been in a stickier situation. And vice versa, you know, there'll be a lot of people that have, you know, a lot more than what I've got, for example, but they won't be able to walk with their chest as high as I can because they haven't actually accomplished or got over a lot of hurdles. So never gauge it, never put everyone under the same line, you know. Everyone's different, everyone's journey is different. I used to wake up and think, you know, what drugs can I scale and whale up to make some money today? Do you know what I'm saying? And I'm just being real, you know. Some people might be in them situations and they'll talk about it. I'm someone that would just be transparent and say, like, that was a reality. I used to wake up and just be pissed off about how I had to live and the double life, and it just, you know. So I think that, and a lot of people are probably living like that now, and maybe they're not.
They don't know no different, basically.
They don't know no different, and also they don't see a way out. But there's definitely a way out. You just got to get around different people. Like, look in your phone book and think, how many other millionaires have you got in your phone book? Or how many other people that are doing the thing that you want to do have you got in your phone book? So if you've got less than 5, then you can't be serious. You need to have a few people in your phone book that are doing the thing that you want to do. And when you're on that path, then you know, you can start making that mental change and transition.
And try to choose something you're passionate about as well is very key, right?
100%. But what I would say on that note, because music was my passion, so I don't want to be a hypocrite when I left music. So I'm saying sometimes there's stepping stones. Sometimes you got to go left just to get to a certain point, then go right and jagged. But eventually you get in line with what you want to do. Like for me, I might come back to music and actually set up a label and then manage artists or manage comedians or something in a creative sense.
Yeah.
But I've had to go through such a journey to come back to it. For some people, they can stick on one journey, but life's unpredictable, you know. So just be willing to be flexible.
So, are you actually into cars? Obviously, it's a car channel. I haven't even asked you.
Yeah.
But do you like cars? You know, you're passionate about them, or?
Good question. To be honest with you, I know it sounds a bit weird, but I'm not really into cars. Like, I know it sounds crazy, but yeah, like, I mean, I guess I've just liked, like, you know, like a bit of luxury or comfort. I like comfort, and I've always been a person that just likes to experience things. So it's not that I'm really into it, it's just I want to experience different things in life. So, you know, I bought Lamborghini and, you know, different cars before, but I just wanted to experience it because in life you get one life, so why not try different things? So it's not that I'm really into them, you know, it's just more of a why not thing. No.
Guys, I just need to take a man at M4, innit? Just show him what time.
Yeah, oh man,
I think I'll change his mind.
Oh man, we'll have to put that to the test.
Yeah, let me know if you want me to take him out. I'll just
man, let
show
us
him
know,
how we
man.
do it, innit?
Yeah, I'm not really a speed person either, so I normally try and just...
Yeah, that's gonna be a bad video.
Yeah.
Alright guys, gonna end the video there. Ayo, man, appreciate it for coming out and doing a video with me.
Enough love.
Yeah guys, I hope that even if it helps one person, man. Hey, I do want to end it on just saying, is there any way you could like lend me 10 bags, man? Bro, I got some debts, man. I'm joking, man.
Oh man, it's in the boot.
See,
it's in the boot.
It's how they move, man. These money people, they don't, you know, they got to keep it to themselves, innit?
Nah, man, sharing's caring. Sharing's caring.
Yeah, man.
We can work.
You got me, yeah?
We can work something.
Alright, cool.
We can work something.
No worries. Alright guys, as always, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I'll leave all of your links as well if you want to like.
Yeah. Thanks,
I'll leave
man.
all his links in the
Appreciate it.
description if you want to check him out. He's on social, as I say, man. I follow him, check out his posts.
Enough love, man.
So guys,
Thanks
see you
very
later,
much, man. Take care.
Bye.
Now, what feelings did you have about me coming into the world at that point?
I knew you were an active and strong positive force.
I've always had belief in myself and my abilities. Been grinding, been putting in the work. Mindset's the key. Team MY, it's just a matter of time.